Starting in the 2010 version, Excel has a type of line chart called Sparklines. And Sparklines are little miniature charts that actually fit into the cells of the worksheet. Now, you might not always want a whole table, or you might not always have room for one, so Sparklines might fit the bill for you. Well, let's check it out. First, click anywhere in the data area, doesn't matter, and Sparklines, like any other chart, are things that we insert. So go to the Insert tab, and over here to the right of the Charts section, we have Sparklines. I'll click Line, and the Create Sparklines dialog box comes up. First thing we have to do is define the data range. So delete whatever's in here, and let's start with the first number here. I'm not going to select the column headers, just the numbers. I'm just going to drag over. Now you could drag all the way down if you want. I'm just going to press Control, Shift, and the down arrow key. Just a much easier, faster way of selecting. And scroll up. So now we have the data range. And now click here in the location range. And the location range is where do we want those sparklines to go. So let's start over here in H5. Now here we have to drag down. If we press Control Shift down arrow, well, there's no place for it to stop. And that's good. Let's scroll back up. So click OK, and boom, it just inserts those sparklines. And just click somewhere inside the sparkline so you could get a better look. Now when you do that, you have the sparkline tools in the Design tab showing up on the ribbon bar. Before we change anything there, let's just take a look at the column itself, column H. If we want these lines to be flattened out a little bit more, if you put your mouse pointer here on the right border of column H, your mouse pointer turns to a two-headed arrow, and click and drag out to the right, and those lines flatten out. If you want them more compressed, just drag them back, and now the lines are a little bit more craggy. I'll just kind of drag them a little bit to the right. Happy medium there. Well, we can do some formatting here. First, let's decide what kind of thickness we want for the lines. Go over here to Sparkline Color, choose Weight, and yes, I know that's confusing. Why is Weight in with a Color tab? I don't know, it just is. And I'll choose a heavier line, so they stand out a little bit more. As far as markers go, we can display high points, low points, first, last points, and so on. So let's go over here in the Show tab, and maybe choose high point and low point, and now we can see with each one, there's a high and low. If you want, you could go here into Marker Color, go over here to Markers, and we can change them as well, make them a little bit more visible. If you don't care about high point and low point, maybe you just want first and last, I'll turn those off and I'll turn on first and last points. And we can see those also, and I'll just turn off those markers. It really depends on what you need. There's no right way or wrong way. Well, even though these are called spark lines, we also have a column variety. So over here, click Column, and now we can see kind of little miniature column charts. And this might be a little bit more visible of where the high numbers are and where the low numbers are. Well, speaking of low numbers, you'll notice that some of these numbers here are negative. And here's another one. Wouldn't it be nice if we could make those negative numbers really stick out like a sore thumb? When you're looking at the data here, it's kind of hard to tell. So click somewhere in the Sparklines, and again, if you need to, go back to the Design tab and choose Win-Loss. Right now, it's still kind of hard to tell, but let's click on the Style drop-down. Maybe choose a dark theme, and go over here to Marker Color, click that, and for negative points, let's choose a light color. I'll choose a light green, and now we can see those negative numbers really sticking out. And you can see over here, negative numbers are turned on, and if you want, you could always turn them off, and that green goes away, turn them on, the green comes back. So the next time you need to create some charts to display just a general overview, and you don't want to fuss with the whole charting package, try using Sparklines. They could save you a lot of time.